Hello and welcome to CoreTV News at 4. I am Omotayo Alo. President Muhammad Buhari says that one of the key objectives of his administration's ongoing economic reforms is to restore the confidence of investors in the Nigerian economy. The president, while addressing leading French businessmen and investors at the headquarters of the Movement of the Enterprises of France, reaffirmed this government's determination to curb corruption in Nigeria. President Buhari added that his administration will do all within its powers to sustain Nigeria's position as the #1 investment destination in Africa. Per Gads, the president of MEDEF, announced that the umbrella organization of about 800,000 French manufacturing firms and businesses will undertake a trade mission to Nigeria next month. Going further, Gattaz added that the MEDEF trade delegation will comprise of prospective investors in agriculture, mining, automobile, energy, skills development, light manufacturing, food processing, civilian transportation services, and many other areas. The federal government is planning to use a zero-based budgeting format for its 2016 budget planning. According to the Vice President, Yemi Oshimajo, the Vice President said that zero-based budgeting will be carefully coordinated to ensure that it is policy-driven, especially regarding the proposed social intervention policy of the Buhari administration. Zero-based budgeting is planning according to the needs and costs, different from the existing envelope budgeting or traditionally incremental budgeting, whereby the planning is based on existing income and expenditure as the deciding factor in national financial planning levels, which often incurs waste and assumes previous costs as constant. Ashimbajo spoke during a CoreTV visit by the National Economic Summit Group. Earlier, the Vice President also met with a delegation from the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers and the Association of Stockbroking Houses of Nigeria. The Vice President also told the NESG that the introduction of the new TSA policy and its implementation by ministries, department and agency is a creative way of blocking leakages in the system to make way for a workable budget. It said with the zero-based budgeting, the federal government will also focus on a bottom-up approach to development. Meanwhile, the presidency has ordered ministries, departments and agencies under the jurisdiction of the federal government to compile the names of all public service employees who are being owed arrears and within 7 days so that they can be paid without further delay. The directive was contained in a circular with reference number HCSF 428S1128 dated September 14, 2015 from the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Danladi Kifasi, and what made available to journalists on Tuesday in Abuja by the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria. In the circular, the presidency emphasized the urgent need to compile the names of those being owed so as to pay them immediately. The presidency directed the MDAs to ensure that each unpaid entitlement should be accurate, verifiable, and contain the name, designation, status, and amount due to each officer. Reacting to the directive, Secretary General of ASCSN, Alade Lawal, commended President Muhammad Buhari for bringing hope to thousands of public service employees who were being owed arrears of salaries and allowances for years. The Independent Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offences Commission has warned state government not to tamper with or divert the bailout funds released for their respective states by the Central Bank of Nigeria for the immediate payment of workers' salaries. The chairman of the ICPC, while speaking on Tuesday at the Commission's headquarters, said the Commission is interested in the disbursement of the funds as it has been provided for the good of workers. The Commission said it would monitor the funds and how they are being utilized in all the states that benefit from the bailout, including Osun, Zamfara, Kwara, Adamawa, Abia, Bauchi, Ebonyi, Gombe, Ondo, Kebbi, and Niger State. NTA emphasized that the bailout funds belong to the federal government and no state government has the right to misappropriate it while not directly using it to pay the backlog of workers' salaries. Prominent northern leaders have rejected the implementation of the 2014 report of the National Conference organized by former President Goodluck Jonathan. The Northern leaders under the aegis of Northern Reawakening Forum during a meeting on Tuesday in Abuja said the conference did not address key issues affecting them. They noted that it would be wrong for President Buhari to implement the report of the conference called by the former president. The Northern leaders urged Buhari to convene a fresh conference that would take into cognizance the challenges facing them and prefer solutions to them. The People's Democratic Party has called on President Muhammad Buhari to set up a committee to investigate the recent invasion of the Akwa Ibom State Government House in Uyo. The acting national chairman of PDP, Uche Secondus, made this call on Tuesday when he led all the members of the National Working Committee of the party on a visit to Governor Udom Emmanuel. He described the incident as a total breach and an affront to the immunity clause of the 1999 Constitution, while calling on the DSS to render an apology to the people of the state. It will be recalled that the Department of State Service a few weeks ago raided the presidential lodge in the official residence of the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Udom Emmanuel. We take a break now, and we'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please for Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Welcome, and if you're just joining us, it's CoreTV News at 4. For mobile news and information, visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, Liverspace and News. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned 4 persons before Justice Abubakar Talba of the Federal High Court, Gudu, Abuja, on a 29-count charge bordering on conspiracy and collecting by false pretense. The 4 accused persons, Ibrahim Ahmed Mazangari, Muhammad Sani Sulaiman, Aja Fatima Mazangari and Salah Yerima Tosjan, are alleged to have obtained 1.2 billion naira by false pretense and with intent to defraud. The money was said to have been mutually a monthly pension payable to MS Sulaiman, Salah Yerima Tosjan, Isa U Adamu, Abdullahi Gaba Musa, who were forcefully listed as pensioners on the payroll. The accused persons, who were offered a biometric contract by a former head of the civil service of the Federation, Steve Onrasaye, to regularize names of pensioners on the pensions payroll, allegedly smuggled in names of fake pensioners and collected unearned pension. The fraud allegedly involved 2 companies, Zanji Technologies Limited and Century Construction Company Limited. The accused persons pleaded not guilty when the charges were read to them and were granted bail after the defense counsel urged the court to grant the application. Justice Talbot set the bail conditions at 10 million naira and 2 sureties each in like sum, one of which must be a director in the Federal Civil Service and the other a responsible member of the society who must submit an affidavit of means and tax document. He also fixed November 2 and 3, 2015 for trial. The All Progressives Congress has denied reports in a section of the media that Maitale Tara Koko, the 92-year-old woman, is an ardent Muhammad Buhari supporter, has been abandoned, adding that the woman is being well catered for. In a statement issued in Lagos on Tuesday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party said the wife of the Kebbi State Governor, Zainab Zabagugu, her medical doctor, has personally taken charge of Maitale's welfare. Going further, the party said since the woman suffered a mild stroke while returning from Abuja, where she witnessed the swearing-in of President Buhari at the stance of the Kebbi State Governor and the senator from Kebbi Central, Adamu Alero. She was admitted and treated at the Yaya Hospital. Police detectives attached to Shagamu and Udogbolu divisions of the command have arrested 5 suspected armed robbers who have been terrorizing the people of these affected areas. In a press statement, the police public relations officer DSP Ulumuyiwa Adejobi disclosed that the police detectives caught the suspected armed robbers Abdul Sulaiman, Awunusi Tola, Aliu Sulaiman, and Tata Fred, and recovered items including guns and the operational motorcycle. The Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, CP Abdul Majid Ali, has directed that the suspects be transferred to Department of Criminal Investigation and Intelligence in Ilewe, Abeokuta for proper investigation and prosecution. The Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 8, Tanko Lowell, has cautioned officers and men of the Nigerian police against the detention of suspects for more than 24 hours, describing the action as unconstitutional and unlawful. The police boss, who spoke while briefing policemen during his tour of the command, noted that policemen and the rank and file should turn a new leaf in consonance with the present wind of change in the country. Rashid has more in this report from Ilorin.
After his resumption as the new AIG in charge of Zone 8, Tanko Lawal is here in Ilorin on a familiarization tour of states under his command. Speaking to officers on the rank and file at the Kwara State Police Command, he charged the police against illegal detention of suspects and extortion. He stressed these should be avoided in order not to give the police force a bad name.
You should not be detained more than 24 hours because you must tidy up your case. That's why the issue of intelligence-led policing come into play. We must do our homework, and that will only come if you are good with members of the public. They will be ready to give you information. You have enough evidence to gather for prosecution of a suspect, then you charge him to court. The issue of long detention must be avoided. The police have caused to spend so much in form of Ganashi orders. And if you allow police to incur Ganashi, you pay for it.
He also added that efforts of the present government in curbing corruption in the system includes the police. He urged the police to do away with corrupt practices because, according to him, the hunter can also be hunted. Tanko Lawal also ordered the dismantling of all unnecessary roadblocks on major roads because the era of roadblock is over.
All over the place, from the presidency to every facet of public life, and the police is not an exception. There is general zero tolerance to corruption. If you are corrupt, you better think twice, change a new lease of life, or you will be arrested. If proven, you'll be kicked out of the service. And in all these areas that are giving us problems, that's why the present police management has insisted on the issue of roadblock, because that is where we have so much problem with members of the public.
He also charges all the policemen to diligently discharge their duties because the present administration will bring back the lost glory of the force. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
Civil servants from various ministries and local governments in Osun State besieged the Bola Ige State Secretariat in protest demanding payment of the outstanding salary arrears. This is just as public school students also took to the street, demanding to know why the state government is asking them to produce tax clearance receipt of their parents before they are allowed in class. The civil servant protests, however, went violent as journalists were beaten up by the irate workers. Rashid has more from Osogbo.
Workers arrived at the Bola Ige Secretariat in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, to pray for the payment of their 8-month salaries. Prayers over, the workers received their national president, Ayuba Waba, who was on the stage to discuss the grievance of the workers with the government.
The bailout is essentially a different entity altogether. And we want the nitty-gritty to be done so that everybody will be paid. Before now, we said in the next 2-3 days, let everything be sorted out. So this is what we stand for, and that is why we are here to give you all the necessary support. I want to encourage you to continue to be very resolute, support your leaders here, because it is with your support that they will be able to succeed. In unity lies our strength.
The workers who refused to return to work waited for the labor leaders to meet with the Osun State Chief of Staff. The state announcer chairman, addressing workers in the native language after 6 hours wait, says the meeting was inconclusive and that negotiations will continue.
We want our money. November, December deduction, balance in January, balance in February, then minimum of 4 months.
The protest, however, took a twist when journalists mistaken for those from the state-owned Osun State Broadcasting Corporation were beaten by the aggrieved workers. Elsewhere, public school students marched to the state secretariat. Received by the permanent secretary, Ministry of Education, the students say they were sent out of school because they failed to produce the tax clearance receipt of their parents.
Since our last session, when we are in grade 10, they have been doing a lot of things, like sit-down strike. They said we should pay 1.5 for damages. They don't allow us to do well exam. They are writing our exam in the blackboard. Students are not going to pay any tax, so we are not paying any money. They should allow us in to go back to our school. That's why our education, and we are ready to read. They should allow us in to read our book and go back to the school. That's what we need from the governor now.
But it seems the appeal did not go down well with the students. While the students vow to return if their plight is not addressed, the workers are waiting for final resolution as negotiation continues, even as pensioners in the state call on the Central Bank of Nigeria to take over the disbursement of the bailout fund in Osun State. The end, no doubt, is not in sight yet. Rashid, CoreTV News, Osogbo.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has told the Rivers State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Abuja, that 2,093,000 voters were accredited in the state. This is contrary to the results that show that Governor Nyesom Wike scored over 1 million votes to defeat Peter Dakuku. INEC's representatives Abimbola Olatunjoye, who was invited to testify by the Justice Mohammed Ambrusa-led tribunal, at the request of the petitioner, disclosed this when she was cross-examined by the defense counsel. Counsel to the petitioner, Akiolu Jimmy, said the testimony contradicted the actual result announced by the commission at the end of the voting exercise. A staff of the electoral umpire, Charles Okoye, who had earlier testified at the tribunal, also described the election as a sham. But INEC counsel Onyechi Ipezu dismissed the insinuation that the commission is not speaking with one voice. INEC is the first respondent in the petition filed before the tribunal by the All Progressives Congress and its candidates in the governorship election, Dakuku Peterside against Governor Nyesom Wike. The petitioners are expected to close their case on Wednesday. The She Needs a Roof project of the wife of the Imo State Governor, Nneoma Okorocha, designed to address the plight of widows in the state, has effectively taken off with its intervention and support of widows. Imo State correspondent Ajibade Aofeso has more in this report.
For these widows who live in shanties and manage to get by, despite the challenges life has thrown at them, hope abounds.
Where that collects the water, and according to her, anytime that basin is filled up, she will have to throw it away. In addition to that, she also has a leather, a polythene. Rather than to use blanket to cover herself when she's sleeping, she will use that polythene to cover herself. And the reason is because if it starts raining, so that the rain will not fall directly on her body.
Nneoma Nkechi Rochas Okorocha has taken upon herself to reduce the burden of these helpless women. In a warm embrace with some of them, she shows them love like mother, sister and friend. Some of them react to this good gesture.
I'm very happy. So because of joining in me, It's making me to hang up. So I don't know what to say actually. But that's why I'm saying that my mother is not well. And I want to thank God. God can make it for me very easily. That is how God makes it very easy to everybody. And my own too. I was 6 years old when my father died. So
The wife of the governor added that the target is to build 27 houses in all, of which will be completed within the next 2 months.
Then we get some of the majority is mine from me, and then of course some well-meaning Imolex or Nigerians that have passion for what I do.
On the issue of the health care of some of the widows, she has this to say.
That are in this condition are not even feeling well. Some medically are not feeling well. Some also have mental problems. And this is as a result of the living condition that they found themselves. And that is why I always will say, for you to be able to think right, you have to be able to live right.
She urged all Nigerians to join her in the quest to support widows and save them from discrimination. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has reiterated its resolve to commence the review of the fiscal terms of its existing deep offshore production sharing contracts, PSC, with some international oil and gas companies operating in Nigeria. In a statement by the corporation in Abuja, the group's managing director, Ibe Kachiku, disclosed this while speaking at the France-Nigeria Business Forum, organized to mark the state visit of President Muhammad Buhari to Paris, France. He explained that the decision is born out of the need to seek favorable benefits to Nigeria based on prevailing realities in the industry. Kachiku stated that in the weeks and months ahead, the NNPC would be renegotiating the contracts to extract as much benefit as possible for Nigeria. We take another break and we'll be back with stories from outside Nigeria and sports. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome. And on the foreign scene, Saudi Arabia has suspended the Saudi Bin Laden Group, the company in charge of the Mecca crane, from taking a new project. In a statement on Tuesday, the Saudi government said the company's operations have been stopped until a review of all their work has been completed. The Saudi Bin Laden Group is one of the region's largest construction firms with contracts across the country. Initial investigations by Saudi authorities suggested a balance issue in the crane and bad weather, which contributed to the tragedy that left at least 107 people dead and hundreds more injured at Islam's holiest site prior to the start of the Hajj. The first refugees have crossed the Serbia-Croatian frontier, carving out a new route through Europe after Hungary sealed its borders. The new route takes the refugees to Croatia, from where they will travel through Slovenia to get to northern Europe. This development comes just a day after German's Chancellor Angela Merkel called for a special EU refugee summit, urging unity in the European response to crisis. Croatian police disclosed that they were registering refugees entering from Serbia and would transport them to reception centers near the capital, Zagreb. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has announced a toughening of the penalties for throwing stones after Palestinians attacked Israeli forces with stones. Israeli forces entered the Al-Aqsa mosque compound in large numbers on Tuesday, and Palestinians responded with throwing stones and debris. The Prime Minister said the decision is made to toughen the measures in many areas, adding that a modification of the rules of engagement will be examined as soon as the establishment of a minimum penalty for those who throw stones Netanyahu further disclosed that there would be significant fines for minors who commit such offences, as well as for their parents. And now to the world of sport. French giant Paris Saint-Germain ladies have completed the signing of Super Falcons defender Ngozi Ebere. PSG manager Farid Benzita disclosed the team's official website on Tuesday that she was delighted to have signed the 24-year-old player from Port Harcourt club Rivers Angels for the next 2 seasons. PSG added that Ibero, who was given jersey number 6, chose the team ahead of all the clubs. With this, Ibero becomes the second top Nigerian player to move to the French Women's League after Desire Karanozie joined John Gamp from Turkish outfit Ataher Belendosh last year. The International Olympic Committee has announced that Los Angeles, Hamburg, Rome, Budapest and Paris will compete to host the 2024 Super Olympic Games. The committee will elect a winner at a vote in Lima, Peru in September 2017. Toronto Mayor John Tory announced on Monday that the city has decided not to bid, citing all the priorities. The IOC changed the rules in August to ensure that every city bidding for the 2024 Olympic progressed to the final vote. The rule change came after 4 cities, Oslo, Stockholm, Rauco and Lviv, withdrew during the bidding process for the 2022 Winter Olympics. And it's a wrap on CoreTV News at 4. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Omotayo Alo. Bye for now.